guys. Hey, what's up, guys? It's
What?
Mecca,
It's Dino.
and we're here. We're talking about. Hey,
Dun, 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 dun,
I don't
dun.
think that's the Battlefield theme.
Not anymore.
I never was. I believe
But
that
people
was-
know what I meant.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So we got the Battlefield reveal, and we took a look. We took a look at the trailer. Some
Battlefield
interesting
V.
things. So I want to get your initial reaction because I already know what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna tell you a bunch of little details that are
I
gonna
just
start blowing your
saw
mind.
it. Mecca knew about this. I was just informed, and I just saw the trailer. Watching it again, the first thing I noticed, color. Lots
Okay.
of beautiful color.
Okay.
And right there, where it picks up the gun, there's color on the gun. It's grass, but there's a lot of green. And I love it. See, because Battlefield 1 was a beautiful game. It did feel a little bit like kind of that Fallout vibe where it's like there needs to be more color. And they did that with their DLC with that French one where it was like a bunch of red. And I was like, yeah, you guys got it. You guys got it down. But man, this looks fucking amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah, you like it?
Yes. I'm going to go play Battlefield 1.
So
I'm not good, but I'll go play it.
okay, so that's all you got to say?
Yeah, I
About
mean,
it? Okay.
it's DICE. Like, I was impressed. I had no complaints about Battlefield 1. I loved it. It was hard, but I knew that going in. Like, Battlefield players are on a league of their own. Like, you can't just jump in and be like, I'm a Call of Duty expert. I'm gonna go into Battlefield and rock it. No. It doesn't work that way. So I loved it. I never played it because I just could get bored. But now it's like, who are these for?
Well,
Those
we're
of you
just,
that don't know, Mecca has now showed me in the trailer. If you've seen it, you see the girl with the prosthetic, my freaking lover, and now I see three other characters, multiple characters. What is this?
just different screenshots of the game. As
Oh, man, God.
So we can look at it while we're talking.
It just looks
So
stunning.
I want to say a couple things. Well, first of all, Battlefield 1. Actually, I'll tell you this: I played a lot of Battlefield in my life. These two games look very similar. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah,
They look very similar in color. Actually, Battlefield 1, I know you were saying it didn't have a lot of color, but one of their first maps called the Montegrappa in Italy was a very colorful map. It was full of green hills, and it was actually one of my favorite maps because it's contrasted.
Was that the beginning of the series? Like they released that?
It came with the game.
I remember that one now.
And the reason I love that map is because it's a big contrast between war and beauty. So in this trailer, you kind of get that same vibe. You get the horror of war. Now I will say this. Well, I'll finish what I'm saying. So you get the horror of war, and then you get that green contrast, which we've kind of seen in Battlefield 1 before. And I'll tell you my feelings about it. I love World War II. World War II has always been one of my favorite shooter genres throughout. And you initially played World at War, was one of your favorite shooters.
Yeah,
as you started, gaming.
Any World War II theme, I always go back.
Right, and I played a lot of Call of Duty 3, which is one of my favorite World War II shooters as
I've
well.
been playing Call of Duty World War II, like the most out of
That's
all.
right, you got it, huh?
Yeah,
That's
I got
right,
it.
You got World War II.
Loved it. Played the campaign.
So
beat it, loved it.
we're both really big fans of World War II. And one thing that I've always noticed in World War II movies and everything is that World War II seems to be very, and I understand why they do it, but they put this film grain, or not a film grain, they put this like filter of very, very
Vintage.
muted colors.
Yeah.
Very drab, very sad. It happens in Saving Private Ryan. It even at some points it even happened in, if you watch what's that one with the guy from Spider-Man? I cannot think of the movie. God dang. I had it on my tongue, on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, so it's the second Spider-Man, not Tobey Maguire.
Garfield, Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield. He's the main star in that movie. But anyway, they have a lot of color in some parts of the movie, and other parts of the movie are really dark. So that's the one thing that I feel like when I was watching this trailer, I immediately thought, okay, so I understand that there are other places in the world where battles happen that were not dark.
Yeah.
I mean, you were fighting in somebody's, green backyard field.
Yeah.
That's still going to be just as green and colorful.
There
Right?
should be.
It
You
doesn't
should
matter.
sense that like you should feel like this is someone lives here. Like this wasn't designed for war. This was
right.
a town.
So it doesn't matter that it doesn't look really dark, because some places it's like if you're fighting in Hawaii, it's
going to be the most beautiful war you've ever been to.
Exactly.
Unless
you
you're
know,
on
it's
that
still
mountain
going to look blue. It's still going to look green. But it's just, it doesn't matter that the actual, like, what you can see. I feel like the colorfulness of the area is just simply, that's just the area we're in, which is, this is supposed to be Norway, or like the upper Arctic Norway area.
Okay. How much do we know about, like, did they reveal where in World War II? Are we going to be going like from beginning, like, oh, Hitler, don't take over Poland?
No. Like, so they were very adamant about the fact that they don't want to go to the big wars. They mentioned things like Normandy, Berlin, and Dunkirk.
They're not going to do any of those.
These are not going to be things that they want to go
so
ahead and explore. They want to explore a different side of World War II, places that you don't expect, places that are like unheard stories. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I like that.
And I like that too. And this is why in the trailer we're in Norway. But
war happened all over. It was World War. At the time, I think they just called it the Great World War.
No, that was World War One. Talking about World War
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
So they called it the Second World War.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, at that time, yeah, this was considered World War II.
This is the second and last World War until 2012.
Well, ultimately, my feelings about the trailer is that, like, I know that honestly, I know this is gameplay.
The first is like a cutscene to a game.
Or no, gameplay. Not even. This is just like a slice of gameplay, which is in the trailer. I believe it's actually supposed to be
a badass
the co-op.
player.
Well, there's a co-op mode.
Oh, okay.
So I'll go into that a little more in a little bit.
Co-op campaign?
I'll go into it I'll go into it a little bit. But this is actually supposed to be, the trailer was supposed to be showing co-op, from what I understand, or what it looks like to me, because this doesn't look like multiplayer, and they did say that multiplayer was coming. The first multiplayer footage was coming in June, I believe June 16th.
So what's going to happen on the 11th during E3?
Well, that is during that time.
Oh yeah. How long is E3?
E3 is from the 12th to the 14th.
Oh, okay. Well,
but ultimately, man, I don't think, and this is what I was gonna say earlier, is that I don't think that this is the trailer they should have shown, because to a lot of people, this is not gonna be the classic World War II scenery that they're used to. The drab, really dark, really rainy,
like
and everybody's dying.
The way DICE presents things, like, that's what this was.
But it's different than their original Battlefield 1 trailer, which the Battlefield 1 trailer showed different aspects of the war. It showed the dark, it showed the light, it showed a bunch of different things, and this was just such a weird slice for them to show, because they showed the prosthetic arm of the girl, and that, some people are calling it steampunk, which is by no means steampunk at all. People are allowed to have prosthetic limbs in the real world.
Yeah,
and that would not mean it's steampunky. And at that time, there wasn't, like, prosthetic limbs didn't have all 5 fingers. They didn't have everything that we have today. They weren't robotic or anything like that. They were literally
they
just
had the simple
metal.
Function of, like, hold it or shoot or pull
right,
it.
hold it. You'll be able to hold something. You'll be able to handle something, but you're not going to have all your textile, everything that you can do with a normal hand. Nowadays, people are shooting for that.
And I think it's one thing, like, if you go back to it, like, it shows she's not doing anything with that hand except holding the gun. There's nothing. Literally,
she's just holding the weapon, and nothing else about this trailer to me is saying steampunk.
Or like fantasy.
So that to me is like, guys, stop. It's not steampunk.
Calm your shit.
Yeah, it's not steampunk. People have prosthetic limbs even in World War II.
Although I would love to have the option to, like, actually have a custom character that could have a prosthetic added to it.
So let me give you some details.
Cool. Give me
so in Battlefield 5, you will be able to have customizable vehicles.
Yeah.
Customizable, like, you can put. Well, I won't talk about all the details, because I don't. A lot of this stuff is, like, kind of, like, still up in the air. I don't know if what is what necessarily. And but you do see, like, I believe in the trailer you see, like, a sword.
You see like a katana, or not a katana. I can't remember. It's shorter than katana, but
you see like a sword on the
like
guy's back. But
sword.
is that something you can just put on your character, or is that something you use? Do you know what I'm saying?
I would love it. Just going off like previous, that'd be cool if that's like one of those puzzle piece melee weapons.
Mm-hmm.
No, that'd be sick because it did.
But you don't normally see those on their character. Even
no,
in
no.
Battlefield 1.
It to be honest, like a lot of the characters had that sense of like customized appearance. It didn't seem like it almost seemed like they were like the guerrilla fighters of war, where they don't have to follow a certain rank. They were just like, you know, girl's got a prosthetic and some blue markings on her face. Another guy's got a Japanese sword on his back, but he's fighting for the Americans. Like,
well, I mean, we don't
know the whole story, but I do love that there's some sort of variety.
So in the trailer, man, they're actually in Norway. She's a resistance fighter, so that is also a little different. She's not actually a part of. She may not be a part of the army or a faction or a branch.
Uh-huh.
She's a resistance fighter, which might be why she looks a little different than the normal soldiers.
Yeah.
And she's actually fighting for her family here. This is her world. This is her
home.
Right. So this is another reason, like, why the backdrops. There's if you notice, the backdrops are trees and a world where people live.
Power lines, homes.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going through someone's home in that. Like,
yeah, you see power lines in a home. You
burst through someone's front yard, go through the house, and go to the backyard, and just keep going. And the two tanks come destroy the house.
And honestly, man, in World War II, that's what it was. The war was coming to people's footsteps in their cities.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I think that's what we're gonna see. I think that's what DICE wants to focus on in Battlefield 5. And I do think it was an error that they showed this first and not as a later. They should have showed like a not like they shouldn't. This is like a vertical slice. They should have showed multiple scenes like the original Battlefield 1 trailer.
Well, here's the thing. When they did Battlefield 1, what was the game previous to that they released besides Star Wars? Like
Battlefield 4,
which was how many years?
Modern.
How many years prior? A lot, right? It was dated.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was a great game.
It had been a while.
Yeah, okay. So at that time, they were like revealing a whole new concept. I believe they showed a little bit of the story. Like they showed characters of it, and it was like in the trailer for Battlefield 1. What was the original
Just
trailer?
Gameplay.
Which one? I remember them also showing the main characters, and it was like there was one trailer I watched.
Well, they showed gameplay, and then they showed like
mixture
CGI trailers, but it wasn't. But that a lot of those scenes were not in the actual game.
I just remember it differently, where I saw a little bit of multiplayer mixed in with like some characters that because I played the campaign, like I recognized those characters later on. I'm like, oh, I saw you in the trailer.
But maybe it was like fast.
Yeah, it was super fast, and it was like, what's going? So many things are happening. The two questions I asked. First one, campaign. Did they announce anything about that? Because I love the first one. I wanted more.
That's what I want to talk about next.
Okay, hang on. Second question second thing that I think is with this, I like this trailer because it re-hypes you for that Battlefield feeling. Like this, whoever is playing this, if it's all staged and everything, it's beautiful. Like this person's an MVP.
Do you like it?
I like how it is because it kind of hyped me up, but now it's it's making me ask those follow-up questions. Like now I want to see the story. Like because I love the first one. I played it, and I was really hoping they add more to it when they did the expansions. Because when we went to the EA thing last year, they talked about the Russian expansion and the girl that was on the cover with her shaved head and the story that why she had to shave her head because they didn't allow females, but she wanted to fight. And I was like, can I play her story? Can I learn more about her?
Nope.
Like, oh, we're not adding campaign stuff. I'm like, why?
Why?
And that's what made me stop playing because that's what hooked me in.
Well, so we'll touch on the campaign aspect of it. So war stories are back.
Yes.
And where they're also bringing back, not bringing back, this is a new thing, and what it's supposed to be, it's like a co-op mode that basically drops you in, okay, and the co-op mode will be 4 players. You drop in as an airborne person or an airborne soldier, and then you drop behind enemy lines and you have to move up, and this is like a co-op. I don't want to call it like a horde mode, but
I feel like that's what this trailer is.
Exactly. That's what you can see because you can tell, like in that.
That's like they dropped right into battle instantly was like had to defend for themselves.
Well, I wonder if you're gonna be your own character or if you're gonna have characters to choose from when you're playing these this co-op mode.
It could
so
be
I feel
those
like this
four
is
that
what
we
this
saw.
is, because that's why like each character is kind of different.
But there's the 4 that we saw that had the painting on them. So that could totally be it. Is those 4 players. You may not be able to customize them, but they're the 4-player co-op characters, like you would do a zombie horde raid on Call of Duty series.
Well, I don't want to dive into those things because
These
it's
are all
very
speculations.
different. Very different.
We just were announced this.
Well, it's very different. So combined arms. You are actually battling somewhere in enemy lines. So it's more like a campaign mission than it is a multiplayer level.
Yeah.
So you can choose to be sneaky or you can choose to be all out gun, and if you can make it, you make it. But you have different objectives in the game that you have to complete and keep going with your team, and you continue. Okay. Now, Dice is saying that this is that bridge between war stories and multiplayer for players that may think like they're kind of like the learning ropes. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to have a bridging gap for players who are trying to come into the multiplayer and are also want to have a sort of a multiplayer-esque experience.
I like that because there is a difference. You can be really good at the campaign and understand the basics of the game and how it works, but the minute you go into multiplayer, it's a completely different story. And from hearing of that, it sounds like it's that little hybrid medium where it's like you get that multiplayer satisfaction because you're playing with others, but also you get, if you love the war story, which a lot of people did, you are going to still get that sort of, war story treatment that you come to love about this series.
Yeah. Well, and they're also saying that there's going to be like if you can do like, there's going to be like a high risk reward if you go in and do like things in a harder way.
Like if you do the objectives or
yeah, exactly. So like there's bigger rewards in the end, or there can be smaller rewards depending on,
okay.
I'm not sure if it's like how well you do, or is it like how much you do, or how big is what you did.
Battlefield's all about teamwork.
Well, this is co-op.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking about in general. If you go into Battlefield thinking you're going to be the best player in the game in that match, you're going to die.
Yeah.
You're going to lose. It's all about teamwork. So
then let me tell you about the multiplayer a little bit.
All right, let's do this.
So there was a rumor about the Battle Royale
I like
mode.
rumors because they lead to truths.
Battle Royale mode. So far,
no, I don't like this anymore. We're done.
As far as we know,
we're done.
As far as we know, there's no Battle Royale mode.
Oh, okay, I like it. You're taking me through a roller coaster ride. I was like, I don't want to talk about this if you're about to say the wrong thing.
So there's no Battle Royale mode, but there is a thing called Grand Operations. And let me tell you why this is like Battlefield 1's operations in some ways.
Okay, refresh me. Which operations was which mode? Was it the giant one that took forever?
So, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I was just wanting to double check.
Yeah, really, it did. The operations mode was basically like you have, it's kind of like Rush and Conquest combined, where you do like you're always pushing forward, but you have to take over objectives and then you move forward. But you're using a whole map.
Yeah.
Unlike Rush, Rush is like a very secluded part of the map, and you're going forward.
And it unlocks as you go, or it doesn't.
Right, but it's a smaller area of effect.
Yeah, of the same map.
And Battlefield 1 had less players in that mode. Now, in what is it, Grand Operations?
Yeah.
This time, instead of only having like you're taking over a place, they're actually going to give you like each map or each area that you're going to be taking over. And I'm not talking about objectives. I'm just talking about in general, the battle itself. So let's say Monte Grappa, and then you move on to Argonne Forest.
Yeah.
Okay, which is, I know they're not in that order. I'm just saying these are two different maps. Okay, you go from Monte Grappa to Argonne Forest, and then those two are considered 1 day each. Well, in this game, in Battlefield 5, it's gonna be, you're gonna have 4 days, and each map is gonna take about, they're saying it's gonna take about an hour long or something like that.
It's gonna be a 4-hour match basically.
Dude, so
the payout better be good.
You're unlocking things as you're playing always in Battlefield. Yeah. Remember that. So as you're progressing, the objectives within that day are gonna be different every single game you play. So you may not just be taking over a place. Maybe you need to move the artillery over here. Maybe you need to do this with your team and do that with your team. And like there's different things so that within that game mode, people will have a chance to experience what they may have not by playing like different objectives in one game.
Question: is there a day and night sequence in Battlefield? 1?
No.
That'd be a nice thing if they add that to that.
To the day, actually, that would be awesome. Like
Yeah.
if it's considered a day or whatever.
Yeah, and
that
then,
would be
and
that
then
would
the
be
next
cool.
mission would be like a night because it's like it's progressing.
Right.
That'd be
Well,
a cool concept if they do. That would be another variety, like a game changer to keep it from getting repetitive and boring.
So in this game in Battlefield 5, what happens is you're gonna have to move your stuff. Like you can literally attach artillery things to half tracks and tanks and bring them with you. And like as you progress through the maps and through the next day, that's the stuff you're gonna bring with you to the next battle.
Oh, so you're not just gonna be like, hey, the vehicle spawned, you can jump in it. It's like, no, we only got 6 vehicles that we brought.
Well,
if we want more, we got to bring them from this battle to the next battle.
Well, vehicles are yours, I think. Vehicles are earned kind of like in.
Well, this is like an example of like artillery or some sort of transportation.
I know. I just want to make sure it's like really clear. Vehicles are gonna be they're gonna be used like points. So you know how like in Battlefront 2, you're playing, you get points, and you can finally use one of your vehicles or use a special character. Well, I don't know about special characters.
It's a Halo style as well with the rec packs, the Halo 5.
No.
With you get the car, you like do good, and then you get level 7 ranking, and
No.
you can okay, no.
No. It's exactly like Battlefront 2.
I don't play Battlefront.
Well, what
I didn't
happens
play
is
Star Wars.
Well, what happens is as you're playing, you accrue points, and then those points you'll be able to use vehicles. Well, this time it's your squad. So your squad accruing points will allow you to use vehicles based on your squad and what your squad's doing.
So you can't just be, the cherry picker and chilling at the back. And
Well,
actually,
you can.
you want to. You just can't be that shitty player that's sitting in the back and not.
You
doing
can
anything.
still.
You can, but it's your squad that matters. You can be the asshole, I guess.
You can still.
You can,
yeah.
but you better have a good squad to back you up your actions. So you
Yeah,
can
because
still
what based on
participate.
that is if you're going to be able to unlock or if you're going to be able to use your vehicles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool. That may change. I don't know.
I mean, that's cool because like if you go in there, you should go in like wanting to play not at your best, but like wanting to do what the game tells you to do.
Right.
It's not an open world. It's not fun.
Now the actual what I was talking about before, taking you're taking the most supplies you can to the next battle.
Yeah.
And to the next battle, until the next battle, until the fourth battle. And the fourth battle is where it gets sort of battle royale-ish. Because it's called what is it? Sudden is it called I think they're calling it sudden death. But what you do is you have one life.
Oh.
This is the last battle. This will determine the win.
Oh shit.
So you have one life.
But you're with your team.
And your whole team has the supplies you brought with you with each war. Okay, with each battle.
Yeah.
That's all the supplies you have. And people in Battlefield 5, everybody can revive, by the way. I know you don't know that.
You can have a medic.
Everybody can revive. Everybody can revive, but only the
Yep.
medic can revive really fast.
Ah, okay.
But everybody can revive.
That's nice.
So you go in there and they can revive you in the battle in the sudden death mode.
Yeah.
But if nobody does that, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And you only have the numbers that you spawn with.
God damn. I like
So,
that though.
that's awesome,
That's
isn't
a
it?
badass battle royale mode.
Yeah.
You gotta
now
earn
you
it.
go in and you guys are going at each other like a real war, dude.
That's a great payout for a 4-hour long game.
And it's gonna be the full fledged players. Everybody.
Everyone's gonna load up and like, all right.
Here we go, battle the battle, a real battle, dude. And I'll tell you this:
the realest you can get in, you got an army versus an army,
Let's
one
go.
life. Here's what you got,
and
go.
you can be limited. You can be low on ammo.
Yeah.
Like you don't know.
I mean, at that point though, you gotta think strategically, like kill the guy, take
We
his
need
guy,
we
keep
need
going,
an
keep
ammo
going,
guy.
keep
We
going.
need a medic guy.
Yeah,
we need people on our squad.
That's when the
that's gonna
squad
move it
mentality
forward.
truly comes in.
Exactly.
And I love that because that's what I think about when I think of Battlefield. It's when I want to play and it's just me. I'm like, I don't want to play this by myself because I'm not gonna do as good. I only have the most fun when I have an actual squad, and then like we play a certain objective, or even if we're not gonna play right but we do something. It's more. The game is always more entertaining with friends.
Yeah.
And I love.
Well, and I'm glad you say that because Battlefield 5 is like in they're really trying to bring home the squad mentality because first of all, you get more ammo and health. The only way to get your full health back and your full ammo back is by going and and being in a squad and having ammo people, having a medic who can give you health.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can get your full health back.
Other than that, you'd be at like 75%.
I think
Something
that's
like
what
that?
they mean. I
Yeah.
think that's what they mean, right?
Yeah.
I think
It's
we're
same
still
thing
all
like in
blurry.
PUBG, where it's like the painkillers can give you almost full, but if you really want to have full life, you need to be at.
But this is everywhere. This is throughout the whole every battle.
But it's the same idea of like just switch it around. It's like you need a squad if you want to get that full life.
And I want to make it clear that this is only for grand operations and only the last part of it, because, what do you call it? Because everything else, like, it's not going to be a standalone mode.
Yeah,
it's just not going to be a standalone mode. So it's not going to be,
when we play that mode, we got to make sure we have time for it. Like that's almost equivalent to like, hey, you want to do a raid in Destiny? Mm-hmm. It's like,
well, I mean,
I don't have a few hours.
Sometimes,
yet.
you know what, man? Sometimes, like, I come home and I have enough time for a while of games, and this is gonna be one of those things where it's like, the end battle, you're gonna come out with your buddies. You're gonna be like, bro, do you remember this part? Remember that part, dude? Like, it's gonna be one of those things where you will experience a battle, and that very end part, if you survive.
Oh man,
you're gonna be like, dude, we made it through. We're one of the soldiers.
Suck too, and if you die right away, it's like I know I'm gonna be one of those. It's like, how long is the last battle usually take? 40 minutes. Fuck, I just died. Shit.
So I don't know about any other modes yet. I don't think that they've said about any other modes besides.
That's all I need is something, because the objective mode or operation mode, it was fun, but I played that a few times and I just found myself like. The worst part is like this couple maps I always ended up in, I never got to complete the whole operation. So like there's some operations that I'm like, I don't know how it ends. Right. Like I never got that full satisfaction of like going through all 4 maps. Because it's like either the other team was too good or like I just come in. It was always something.
Right.
So this sounds like something where it's like, you're not. It sounds like you're always leading to the end. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna try to cut them off at the second map because you need to.
But
stop
you can actually. That actually can happen still.
That's cool, but like, I'm hoping more people would be more like excited to try to let them go. So I mean, I'll be honest.
Make it to the fourth I've asked like I've asked myself as I'm playing. I'm like, I kind of want to play the next map. So
you kind of like purposely let. I'm
them
like,
go. I don't know if I want to win this match.
Exactly.
Like, I kind of do want to play
too.
The
where
next
I'm like,
one.
man, I'm killing it. Oh, it's because we're playing the part that's always difficult on the opposite team. I'm like, all right, I'll step back or I'll jump in a plane and I'll just start like destroying it.
Just do a random crowd.
Yeah, just do shit. But this seems something like I would want to.
So you like it? You like
I love it. That's great.
All right, so let me drop some good news on you, man. Because all this before, I don't know. I need to see more to be convinced. So,
I like what I'm hearing. All
right, so the really good news, is anything that's coming DLC wise, free.
They learn to not separate their players, huh?
Yeah. So they really don't want to segment the community, and that's why
That's what killed them.
Yeah, I know. In a lot of ways, yes.
It was like it was a great game. It's like, what happened to it? It's like, DLC.
Yeah, and that sucks, man. Because I mean, the community, they will all want to play together, and it sucks when something as simple as money divides a game that you love.
Yeah,
it's like, come on, guys, please. We bought the game.
No, I will say this. I do like when they did release the DLC. They saw that was a problem, and they acknowledged it by saying, all right. If your friend has the DLC and you do not, you can jump in their world, you can help them out, but you cannot have the new guns that come with it. So I was like, that's a cool thing to do. At that time, though, I was like, I'm playing other games, so I honestly didn't go back to it. But I did admire them for doing that. I was like, that's bravo. Like, you guys understood that is a problem in this industry where it's like, you guys need more money, and I get it. DLC was like the early adaptation to like get more money off the same game, but it was truly segregating all the players, where it's like the people that didn't buy it, that don't play it every day, that don't feel that they need to buy it, and then the people are like, take it all. Yeah. I'll play it every day, every minute.
So they'll be adding new things. Like one of the things they're adding, they're called Tides of War. We don't really know details about it, but that's coming after launch. And they're not going to have loot boxes. They're not going to have any sort of advantage and power for anything that you can buy.
Oh, they got rid of that? That was kind of annoying.
Well, it's all going to be cosmetic, just like Battlefield 1.
Yeah. Well, no. You also had the melee weapon. I still have 4 of the 5 pizzas.
Oh yeah, that's right. Those weren't just cosmetic. Huh?
Yep. I still have 4 of the 5, and I will never get that 5th one.
Well,
because it was a lot of points to get. Like, if you weren't a good player, like I like to say I had my moments, but they were very few.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I would sit there and like, I really just want this last one. I can't get 700 points to get another box, and when I do, it just got like I don't play enough to get it, so I never got that last melee, and I was like, oh, that's a bummer. Like, it was a bummer that was the one thing stopping me.
Yeah.
So it's cool that they got rid of it, and I don't mind cosmetics only. Mm-hmm. And if they do something special, like what happened to objectives to a gun, kind of when they do it, like you shoot 50 people with this gun or get 50 headshots. Here's a new recoil. Like
it still works that way.
Yeah, like that should just keep it that way.
It still
simple.
Works like that.
I know.
Well,
like,
in Battlefield 1 it does.
Just keep it that simple.
Like that still.
I love that because
like
it's one of those like, do you really want to use this gun? Shoot it a few times. We'll give you some stuff as you keep using it.
I hope they do that. I really do hope they do that.
I've always been a fan of that. It's like, yeah.
So well, let me bring it home a little bit, man, because there's a lot of stuff. So one cool thing about this that I really love when I was watching the reveal live is basically I really like that they talked about the airborne. And as you see in the trailer, right at the very end, there's bombers coming up, and you can see the paratroopers coming down.
Yeah.
Now that mode may be different, right? But they did talk about you dropping in the beginning of grand operations. You drop in as an airborne guy.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that awesome?
And all of you?
All of you drop in.
That'd be kind of a cool little thing too, is if one of the planes were just a cargo passenger
and they could shoot you down?
No, they could shoot you down, but you also have a whole bunch of players in your plane. Like maybe it just holds 10. That's enough where you're like, all right, dive, 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 dive. You got 9 people in the sky behind enemy lines falling. They may not even realize it. Like, that would be just another, like...
But I wonder if, like, in the beginning, you'll be able to go forward and, like you'll be able to choose when to jump. That's what you're saying?
Yeah,
You'll be able to choose when you jump, and then, like, you can jump early, or you can risk them blowing up the plane, but you jump behind enemy lines.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be just a fun little thing. Like, you, the pilot, is like, all right, my job is to make sure my fellow players get behind enemy lines.
I wonder if you can, like, move it around a little bit.
Yeah, like, even in...
Kind of like 1943. I don't know if you ever played that. But you could actually kind of move the bombers just a little bit as you were doing, like, a bombing strike.
Oh.
I wonder if that's how it's going to be, if there's even, like, a driver inside those things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's like Medal of Honor Airborne, where you just literally, there's a guy saying, go, and you just jump out. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But I do love that they're bringing that aspect to the game. I think that's awesome.
A little paratrooper.
And I'm really, really excited.
Those guys don't have kneecaps anymore.
I also, man, I want to say this is really cool. I feel like when you can actually pick up ammo on the on the battlefield, and there's animations from base. It seems like they're putting animations as sort of a roadblock so that things don't move as quick. So, for example, when you're reviving somebody, I told you earlier it was going to take a little quicker. It's going to be a little quicker if you're a medic or slower. There's actually going to be an animation. You can actually drag people to safety and then revive them. And I don't know if you know
as a medic or just
as a medic or anybody, you can drag people to safety and then revive them.
Oh man,
isn't that awesome?
That's awesome, but that's like super strategic. Like, you got to really think about what you're doing.
Yeah,
like,
but everything is slower. Everything you do is slower. You pick up ammo, it's slower. You revive somebody, it's slower. Everything is a little bit more of a painstaking process, and I feel like this is gonna slow down. This is gonna really make people think about strategy in the war.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I like that. I like that as a strategic player. How this is gonna play for like the Call of Duty community and the Call of Duty players wanting to get into the battlefield. I don't know. I don't feel like Battlefield has ever been for those people, and I feel like
we're at a time where they're both Call of Duty, I'm not going to lie. When I played World War II, Call of Duty was still Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It was still, I was like, this is what I remember.
See, and I know that, and that's what I feel like. I feel like Battlefield should be Battlefield, Call of Duty should be Call of Duty.
There's nothing wrong with mixing, but you have to understand that they're different.
Exactly. And Battlefield 5 is really, really making it I feel like they're trying to differentiate that, not because of Call of Duty, simply because that's their identity.
They
And,
don't have
and
to go Call of Duty route. They can do what
it doesn't
they
have to be
want,
that fast.
and it's
Yeah,
fine.
you can like take your time, be strategic, pull some bodies away, and then revive them, and then
Yeah.
go out as a squad.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're ready. We're good. Let's go. Let's go take
Again,
this part.
It's the Battlefield, like Dice on them. They're about teamwork.
Yeah. Yeah, they really are emphasizing teamwork
Yeah.
or squad work.
And I love it.
guess.
Like we need more of that. We got Death Stranding coming out for Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
He's all about teamwork, and no one knows what the fuck he's talking about, but we love it.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
he keeps saying that?
Dude, if just follow him on Twitter and try to interpret what he does. Like you're gonna go insane. Like what the fuck is going on? But anyway, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
That's a whole different
I was gonna
story.
say, what are we talking about here,
Yeah,
dude?
no, but no,
So-
I just love it. It's a. I wanted to come back to Battlefield. I seen that you and Green have been playing it, and I was like, man, I want to jump in, but I haven't had the time to really jump in, and but I do see it. Like I got the season pass once the season pass came out on sale for like I don't remember when they did it, but like buying it, boom, no questions asked, because I do want to play all this. Like I want to go back and see it. I want to still play the new DLCs I never got, and it's like it's great. Like it's just a beautiful game.
Well, let me ask you this, man. Because they said that they're not going to be doing like the major battles, the major things that we all know about. I wonder if do you think they might bring like the Pacific front to this one? Like even the DLC, because like there's a lot that we just haven't explored on the Pacific front of World War II. You know what I mean? And they have done.
That's right.
They have done it in the past. They have done like Iwo Jima. They have done like the islands that were fought on.
Yeah.
In like 1943, they did that, and they may have done it in a 1942. I'm not sure, but they definitely have that's in their mindset in terms of like DICE. I don't know if they're gonna add those things to this game, but I wonder if we're gonna see like this may have been just one front, like Norway. Whoa, we're in Norway now. We're over here in North Africa. Now we're over on the Pacific.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past me. Like because playing the war stories.
Yeah.
And the
It's
Battlefield
very
1,
different in every place.
you went all over the place.
Right.
You went everywhere, and it wasn't until like halfway when I realized I'm playing as the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh shit, I'm playing as them. But they made a great job of showing like war is not good or bad. Like it's just one side versus the other, and both have losses.
Yeah.
Like it's war. It's not pretty either way.
However, I do hope that we at least get one familiar battle. Like I hope we do.
Yeah.
Eventually,
it's
like guys,
it's gonna be us in a plane.
guess what? We are doing like a one that everybody knows about, and like I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. It's
I hope they don't do D-Day.
I kind of wish they would
No,
though.
no,
I kind of
dude.
wish they would. Could you imagine how
God.
dark it would be though? Like I know
Let me
it's
tell
been
you,
overplayed, but dude,
go
I
play-
kind of do want it again.
Go play the Call of Duty World War II.
Or Medal of Honor.
Yeah, they're exactly the same. I was like, oh, I've played this before. Like,
Yeah,
they're exactly
yeah.
the same. But I want it to be something big that, like Dunkirk. When the movie came out, I was like, I had to do a little thinking and research. I'm like, holy shit, this is like I forgot. Like, this is one of the main battles, but it's not as mainstream as the other. So it was nice. Like, it felt kind of like
it was different. Yeah.
yeah. If there's others like that, there has to be.
Now I don't think I really.
I don't know my World War II history. So
I really don't think that they're gonna be going for historically accurate because even in World War One,
because of steampunk.
don't start that. Don't fuel the fire, man.
Yeah.
I don't think. I want to just stop that because it's just ridiculous. No, it is not steampunk. That does not look like steampunk to me. It has some steampunk elements, very little, like 1% steampunk element. Okay,
Yeah, it's called the war part.
or it's called like the metal, I guess, or
Yeah.
the. I know what it's called in Spanish, a gabardina, but I don't know what it's called. The coat, overcoat,
The trench coat.
trench coat. That's whatever. You know what I mean,
that's
like that
straight
leather,
steam-
whatever.
That's steampunk all the way.
Yeah, it's very, very. But that does exist in on Earth. You know what I mean? Like people can wear that.
I got one right now. Like,
So, but anyway, man, I feel like I don't know that they're gonna go with the historically accurate. I think they're gonna
Which is
go
fine.
with it's gonna be like World War One, which I feel like the game was like based on history, because
I think they
they
learned-
added people to certain factions that
Yeah.
weren't there at the time.
yeah. And,
Right.
And I'm sure they learned like we're gonna like you said, we're gonna choose the battle that was basically inspired, but this isn't gonna be 100% story accurate.
Exactly.
You don't need to take your history class just to play Battlefield 5. No,
not exactly. And people should remember that this
is a fucking game.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, well, I don't want to call it unfortunately. I just want to say like the where DICE is from. Guys, it's a very, 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 very politically correct climate.
Yes.
So if you wonder why DICE may do that, that's the reason.
Yeah, and that's 100% the reason.
Because they're not about to try to make people upset.
No.
And a woman here and there, and certain and like different different people and different factions that may have not been there at a certain time, being there is not going to break my gameplay aspect. To be honest. To me, it's more about the gameplay, the vehicles, the weapons, the air battles, man, the airplanes, the airborne, and the locations. Honestly, that's all I care about.
If you say in France and then I look at the building, like this doesn't feel like I'm in France, like
that's different.
That's a different feel.
That is a problem. They should make it feel like it's France.
Exactly. That's okay.
Oh, I thought you were saying like I wouldn't care. I'm like I would.
No, I
they're saying we're in Paris and they don't put the Eiffel Tower.
Care. Like it was like you say I'm in France and like this looks like Boston. I'm like what?
What? Yeah. No. I don't think they're gonna do that though.
You never know.
But it also brings the question like I do wonder like I know there's gonna be haters out there who are gonna be like, dude, there's a whole platoon of women or a whole company of women just playing. You know what I mean? It's like, who cares, dude? It doesn't matter. Play the game. I don't personally like agree with the fact that they have done that because if you're going for a game that's set in World War II, which is a very, very like known war for people, it's a war that people always think about when they think of a world war. Any war, really, and it's like people know, and so they will yell and they will be upset and they will say something about it. But in the end, it really doesn't matter, guys. I think it's more about the gameplay and more about what we're getting as an experience of the game, regardless of whether or not there's a woman on your team or anything else, or if you're a German, with a black guy on your team. Like, it doesn't matter, I guess, really, but it does. Yeah. I don't know. If you care about history, it does. If you don't care about history, if you're just trying to play a World War II game that looks cool and you want a good experience, I don't think it will matter as much.
Honestly, if you want 100% accuracy, like,
go read.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go
watch a documentary.
Go watch the World War II color documentaries. I think they're on Netflix now. I sat there because it's like 24 episodes. Each one's an hour long. Mm-hmm. I watched about like 6 episodes one night, and I was just so into it. And I didn't think I would be, but God, like World War II was fascinating. So much behind it, and a game's not gonna tell you any of that shit. A game is not there for that purpose.
No, it's there to have fun and play.
Yeah.
And it should be fun to play with everybody, and that's all it is about.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I want to just tell you guys, Battlefield 5 is now available for pre-order, so I am not going to pre-order it.
No.
I haven't pre-ordered a game in a long
I trust
time.
DICE. I trust what...
Or you get it digitally. What do you got to pre-order it for?
I trust their work.
Well, you should. Yeah. Okay, because if you pre-order it, you
get a machete.
No, you get the enlister offer, gain early access to the open beta and other game benefits, including a soldier customization, access to special assignments starting at launch week, and immediate access to 5 weapons in use in Battlefield 5. So pre-order it, guys.
Hang on. Is there a date?
Yeah, October 16th. If you subscribe, and if you subscribe to EA Access, you'll be playing on October 11th.
Before you go and pre-order, think about what you're gonna be doing at that time. Think about other games that are coming out. Don't pre-order things.
Red Dead is coming.
Oh shit!
At that time.
Yeah, you know what? Don't pre-order things right away because that does sound tempting.
I'm playing this game.
That does sound good.
I'm pre-ordering it.
I'm not. I mean,
because I want to get all that stuff.
But when they say stuff like get this thing, get things right away. And get them early first week. I'm like,
hold on. I've done this though. I got the pre-order bonus because I ordered it the day before.
Oh yeah.
I've done that before.
I done that too,
You
but
did
only
that?
because they're like, if you pre-order it,
You
you get to play it now.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
the
like,
only way.
okay.
That's the only reason I pre-order things.
Yeah,
to play it
but
now.
you're not going to be able to play it now though.
But I
unless you have
usually,
EA
I usually
access.
don't do it until that week prior, or because there's always that pre-order announcement where like, hey, those pre-orders come out this. If you did this, then you get to play it. 3 days early. I think it's EA, right? Dice and all that. EA. Yeah. Fucking EA does that all the time. That's what killed Mass Effect. They let it out too early.
Well, if you want to play the beta, you're gonna have to pre-order it. And I want to play the beta, so I will pre-order it.
You can do that. I'll watch you.
You can watch me play.
I'll
the
watch
beta.
you. Yeah, I'm good on pre-ordering. It's just I find that like that hype of pre-orders, like when it does come out, it's like, oh man, I don't really like rush in to play it. I'm just like, I'm just here.
Yeah.
So,
all right, guys. Well, not to make it extremely long. This is Battlefield 5 trailer.
let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, and I hope you guys like the info. I hope you guys like our opinions. That's all they are. And
no, mine are facts.
Yeah, well, dinos are factual. Like for example,
factual opinions I made up.
There's some weird facts in there then.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, if you like what you hear what you like. Press the subscribe button
and check us out.
Yeah, press the little up with the little bell, little ding dong.
It's a little notification bell, but just subscribe. I mean, if you really want to watch
no,
you'll come
I'm just
and
saying,
watch us.
what is that thing? A ding dong?
It's a Klondike bar.
What are we talking about? All right, guys. All right, guys. Take care.
Peace.